Hello and welcome to my Sky Factory map. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of a tour of what I've been working on for the past few weeks. So this is my base right now. So at the overview you can see I got some trees growing, got some automatic farming going on, and some mob spawner stuff. But let me just give you an in-depth detail and show you everything that's going on. So let's start at the very bottom here. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Big Reactors mod, but here's our main reactor right here. This is here's the controller right here. You can see everything that's going on. I've actually got mine actively cooled, which means I'm using two turbines, which are these guys right here. So these generate power much more efficiently than just using the reactor by itself. Right here I've got an Ender IO capacitor bank. It's a multi-block structure, and it's storing a whole bunch of power right now. You can see that's 1 billion RF in that thing. And then I've got all my power going out via Tesseracts. So that's how that's working right there. Going up here. So this is kind of like my applied energistics area, auto crafting and storage of all my items. So this is all my stuff that I've got stored currently. And these are my crafting CPUs, so I can automatically request items. So if I wanted to make a logic processor, I can request one of those, and that's all the stuff that I need. And so it'll request that, and then do that, and then I've got one logic processor. So it's kind of like an auto crafting system. I've also started recently getting into Draconic Evolution, and so I've got some of the weapons in here, and I'm wearing all the gear. So I got the upgraded chest plate, which gives me flight, which is kind of cool, and it's all powered on RF, so it'll work as long as it gets power. And I've got these wireless chargers here that'll keep my gear powered on while I'm at my base. Here's my Thaumcraft area. I've got my infusion altar here going. And eventually need to automate this so that it goes into the applied energistics system, ME system, but that's for a later time. Let's see, here's a quantum ring that I'm sending power to the nether, which I've got a mob grinder over there I can show you too. So this is a skyblock map. So basically you start off with when you're on top of a tree and then slowly build out your base. So this is taking me some time to build, but so this is kind of where everything starts over here. So basically to get started in this game, you have to start crushing up cobblestone, and then you can use that to sieve different items like gravel, sand, and dust, and they give you the raw materials that you can use to start building out your base with the more advanced machines and stuff like that. So it all starts in this igneous extruder, which basically just generates endless cobblestone, and then that goes into hammerers, and you can hammer cobblestone into gravel, gravel into sand, and sand into dust. And then when you sieve those separate things, you get different items. And I've got those just pumping out into my Tesseract, which actually comes back to here, which gets pumped into this obsidian chest. Everything that gets made goes into there, and then that gets output from this import bus on the, there it is right there on the side. So everything goes through there and gets imported into my ME system. So that's how that's all working right there. Here's my Tinker's Construct Smeltery. That was one of the first structures I built in this to get started with all the Tinker's Construct tools and stuff. So after everything gets sifted, it gets put into raw materials. I've got it going into this system right here, which basically goes into this compactor, which takes all the elements, the raw elements you get from sifting, and then compacts them into a block form. And with that block form, you can crush them down even more until you get to the dust variant. And when you get to the dust variant, it pumps them into here, which pumps them into these redstone furnaces, which actually turns them into the iron and all the metals that you can use for crafting. And then after that gets done, that gets all pumped into this chest, which basically sends them back into the IMEI system again. So if we look in here, for example, let's look up iron, and I've got 97,000 iron stored in here, so it should last me a while. But it's actually going up at a faster rate than I could probably even use it. But anyway, so that's how you get stuff in Skyblock, and I've got all this automated, so I'm basically just always accumulating endless amounts of resources. I'll show you a little bit of my auto crafting area. Here's all my molecular assemblers with IMEI interfaces attached, so I can basically store a bunch of patterns in these guys and they'll auto craft stuff for me. Over here I've got some machines that I've got IMEI interfaces connected to. So these are basically responsible for storing processing patterns, so I can do things with other machines other than Applied Energistics. So here's like a thermal expansion machine called Redstone Furnace that just basically does auto smelting for you. So if I have a pattern here, like here's to turn cobblestone into stone. So if I send cobblestone to this, it'll auto craft it into cobble or regular stone. So that's how that works. And so over here I've got alloy smelters, which combine metals together to get other items. And so these are all, this is kind of how Ender.io works. And that mod is you mix metals together and you get the ones that you can use for that mod, which is pretty cool. These are pressers. The only reason I have these is to make paper. You can actually send it wood and press it into paper. So that's how we get paper. This is a slice and splice if I need to make Z-Logic controllers for whatever reason at Ender.io. Sag mill, which basically turns things into pulverized varieties. Fluid transposer, I've got this one dedicated to Resonant Ender, so I can make tesseracts automatically really easily. So I use a lot of those and keep the wiring scenario fairly clean. So, and then the Soul Binder, which is another Ender.io option, so I can use that to make other items. But this is an experience obelisk, so you can store all your experience in there in case you accidentally die. It's not all gone. But anyways, so that's all that. I've got some spare trees over here for Thaumcraft stuff. I started working in Botania, but haven't gotten very far yet. You can see I just have some flowers and a mana spreader, mana pool, and runic altar. I need to automate this to automatically make living rock and living wood, but another time. And I've just got some fluid cows over here that have naturally spawned. So I've actually taken some of those and put them over here, the more useful ones. And I am got a rancher here that's automatically pulling the fluids out of these. Here's plutonium, inderium, and signalium, and I've got them pumping into the smeltery and just automatically coming out as materials that I could use, which is pretty cool. Up here I've got my magical crops farm that I'm using in Ender.io farming station to handle. I've got the growth spreaders down at the bottom, growth pulsers, and then I've got hardened watering cans, which actually dramatically increase the rate these things grow at. So that's pretty cool. I've got one on either side here. Over here I have a little harvester. This looks like it's broken at the moment, which I need to debug and figure out why it's not getting energy. Actually, that's pretty easy to debug. I can fix that real quick. I had this set up to make dirt, and now I just want to make it to make wood, so that kind of changed how I wanted to do that a little bit. But let's see here. There. Now it's getting energy. So that'll slowly cut all that stuff down. It's actually pretty quick. You can see it do its magic. So every now and then it'll just grow trees. They're usually not this big, but it's kind of gotten out of hand, and so they've combined together into a huge tree. So you can see it just automatically cuts everything down for me. No more cutting down trees. I'm going to show you my my wisp spawner right here. So I kind of based this design off Direwolf's 20 Expert Skyblock map. So I've got a Ender.io mob spawner there, and it's spawning wisps for my Thaumcraft essences, and then I've just got a basic MFR grinder to knock those guys out. Might eventually upgrade that to a Draconic at some point, but it's doing a fine job right now. So then I've got a vacuum hopper sucking up any extra items that the grinder doesn't get. This is the area I used for my rituals for the divination sigil. And then going into the nether, I'm going to show you my my mob grinder for withers. It automatically kills withers, so it's pretty cool. So here's where my other quantum ring goes. So that basically wirelessly connects the other side of my ME system together, so I can access all my items from inside the nether, which is pretty cool. So basically how I've got this set up is I've got everything going to an interface here, which outputs soul sand and wither skeletons, and this is going to kind of like a sub network. You can see this import bus, and it turns off with the redstone signal, so I can control when I turn everything off and on. So I've just got a basic little separate ME system going on. So these are formation plates, which basically create blocks. So you can see it's already started making the next one to summon the wither. This is the key component in this whole system. It's a translocation plate from thermal expansion. So basically whenever the wither spawns, it immediately throws it into this cage that's witherproof glass based on the magical crops blocks you can do, which is really cool. So I basically got this powered with a Tesseract, and this is a Draconic evolution grinder, so it kills the dudes almost instantly. Then over here I've got a transfer node, which basically pulls all the items out of there. I've got this lots of world interaction upgrades to make sure to get everything that comes in, and that sends it out of a Tesseract back over into the overworld. So let me show you that in action. I'm actually going to get rid of these so you can see it happen all at once. So I'm going to flip this lever and then it's going to go to town. So hopefully I've got all this stuff in my inventory. So you can see it starts placing blocks. And there's the wither, gets thrown into the box, and it starts making a whole bunch of them instantly. And then this grinder will start going to town once they actually spawn in. You notice the explosion, everything stays intact because of the witherproof glass. So this is going to start going crazy. So I can turn the volume up here. Maybe you can hear it. Maybe not right now, but anyway, so there you go there. Crazy. Nether stars for days. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off. I do have a semi-limited supply of wither skulls right now. I've got those coming in with my magical crop stuff, so they're basically unlimited, but they just take a little while to make. So I could run out of those guys, but you can see how those work, those formation plates. So yep. One little bug with this problem, sometimes if I don't turn it off on the right tick, this top formation plate will try to place a skull kind of out of sync with this bottom one. But it's not really a big deal. It's pretty easy to reset and let it go to town. So I haven't really bothered with messing with the timing of the redstone and all that. That would be a little bit tricky. And this is just a really easy setup, and it works really well as long as it stays on. So that's pretty much how that works. I'm gonna show you my charm here. So this is a piece of gear from Draconic that I just got today, actually. So you can program it with a whole bunch of different locations, and it instantly will teleport you there in between dimensions and stuff too. So it basically uses ender pearls as fuel, and then you can just tell it. So I'm gonna go back to my home base instantly. So I'll select home base. Oop, back there, and then right click, and I am instantly back at my crafting terminal here. And I noticed it saves your orientation too. So if you can see, I'll facing down and I'll teleport. It'll teleport me back up there, so you can instantly have access again. I kind of like that. So this little thing's an upgrader for your Draconic Evolution items. So just getting started in that. It's looking pretty cool so far. But anyways, well, that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but you know, it's fun. But we will see you later, I guess. All right, bye.